Hey, Shalom. Want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to apostles, elders, which are GMS, and blessings and salutations to you, brothers out there teaching and doing truth and sincerity. Today's lesson is what is church? What is church? Because as crazy as it is, it's still an assumption out there that church is a building or a place. You know what I'm saying? So we came to give clarity and give clarity and understanding to that term church. All right. So going straight into scriptures. Salakia. Oh, I got it right here. How about to say, man? I thought I had my sword with me. Doing my studying in my study area in my computers in a different area. So we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of the subject matter, and then we're gonna go into the definition of church itself. So we're gonna start off with the household. Acts 17:24 says, "The Most High that made the world and all things therein, seeing that it is that He is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands, neither is He worshipped with men's hands, as though He need anything, seeing He giveth to all life and breathe in all things." So that's telling you right off the bat that the Lord is not dealing with temples, key word, made with hands. All right. For two, another major point is that the Lord don't need a building. He don't even need us to worship Him. All right. He doesn't have a dwelling place. It said heaven is His throne, earth is His footstool. What place can you build for me that, you know what I'm saying? Like, He made everything. Even if you make earth, even if you made a church, He made the stones to make that church. So all glory is going to go to Him regardless. You can't say, look at this, look what I did, because at the end of the day, the Lord created you and He created the elements for you to create a church. So why would He say, okay, this looks roomy, this is my type of spot? No, He created the world. He created us. All right. The earth is His footstool. What you do with a footstool? You put your feet on it. All right. So see here. I want to go into this next precept. I was gonna, but I'm gonna just go with the Spirit. The Spirit's telling me get it right now. All right. So we're gonna go into St. John, one of the books of the Lord. St. John. Chapter 2, verse 17. Went to St. John chapter 2, verse 17. All right. It says, and His disciples remembered that it was written. Is this 2 and 17? Let's see here. It's like it's 2 and 18. St. John chapter 2, verse 18. It says here that then answered the Jews and said unto Him, what sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Yahushua answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? But He spake of the temple of His body. Okay, because the scripture says in Matthew's, matter of fact, let's get that. Matthew's, going straight to the point, chapter 8, verse 20. Salakia. Matthew's chapter 8, verse 20. The page is sticking. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, this is 18, verse 20. What am I doing today? Blind eye. Getting blind as a bad up. Man, I need my glasses, man. It's all good. All right. Saint Matthew, book of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 20. It says, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. So now with all these concepts, we're going to go into the definition of church itself in the blue letter. Okay? So according to the blue letter, we got the word church. App's taking all day. It's all good though. So we're going to look up the word church. Matter of fact, I want to look up a specific verse. All right. So we're going to go to Matthew 16 and 18. It says, and I say also unto thee, thou art Peter. Peter is Petros, which means rock. All right. And upon this rock, I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So now I want you to deal with the context. When the Lord told Peter he is his rock, and upon him he will build his church, did the Lord, put him in the middle of the church and build a foundation, set Peter right there, and then build the church around him? Did he have Peter hold up a certain part of the church? Was Peter a part of the church? You know what I'm saying? And the Lord just built the church around? No. All right. What did Peter do? Did Peter build a church? All right. No. Even though there's a church out there with Peter as a representative of it, that was made by man. You know what I'm saying? Idolizing Peter. But when Peter, the Lord said He's going to build a church with Peter. All right. And on top of Peter, He used Peter. What Peter went and did? Peter, just like Yahushua, gathered a numerous multitude into the church. It is, as you read in the book of Acts, 5,000 here, 7,000 here. I think it was 4,000, 5,000. You know what I'm saying? It was gathering a bunch of people in droves to the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. So in this particular scripture, we're going to go to the interlinear. Go to that word church. All right. I believe it says ecclesia. I'm going to see if it's going to play for me.
Strong's G 1577. Ecclesia. Ecclesia.
Yep, ecclesia. It says a gathering of citizens called out from their homes into some public place, an assembly. An assembly of the people convene at the public place of the council for the purpose of deliberating. The assembly of the Israelites, any gathering or throng of men assembled by chance tumultuously. In a church sense, in a Christian sense, it says an assembly of Christians gathered for worship in a religious meaning. A company of Christians, or of those who, hoping for eternal salvation through Yahushua Mashiach, observe their own religious rites, hold their own religious meetings, and manage their own affairs according to regulations prescribed for the body for order's sake. Those who anywhere in a city, village, constitute such a company and are united into one body. All right, the whole body of Christians scattered throughout the earth. The assembly of faithful Christians already dead and received into heaven. So, at what point in time did you hear a reference to a building? You know what I'm saying? Now, if I go to dictionary.com, I'm gonna see. I haven't did that, but I want to do it now, just for edification's sake. I want to see if there's a new speak for the word church. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So dictionary.com, it says a building or public Christian a building for public Christian worship. Public worship of God or religious service in such a building. So the Newspeak, through the Spirit, they told me to look it up. Newspeak on it is talking about a building, but the biblical sense is talking about a gathering of a body, or a gathering multiple people believing in one person. That's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So when you read the book of Matthews, and what prompted me to read this is, matter of fact, I'll get the book real quick, which prompted me to read this. It was a subject that I heard, people talking about it, but I decided not to get into it. All right, but I wanted to go on. This prompted me to it in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 2. It says, "Grace unto you and peace from the Most High our Father and Lord Yahushua Mashiach. We are bound to thank the Most High always for you, brethren, as it is meet, because that your faith groweth exceedingly, and the charity of every one of you all toward each other abounded, so that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of the Most High, for the patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure." So, this I'm reading something. I'm making sure I don't want to leave nothing out that I want to put in. But in this sense, he's talking to the Thessalonians, right? And he said here in verse 4, "So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of the Most High for your patience." So, matter of fact, I read the prologue. The prologue says, "Shortly after he wrote that First Thessalonians, Paul heard that the people in Thessalonica were still having problems concerning the return of Yahushua. Some of them were thinking that the second letter, some of them were thinking that the day of the Lord had already come." Chapter 2, verse 2 in the same book. So Paul wrote this second letter to correct the misconception. All right. So it goes into this, which is another. It's a pretty good prologue. But the point is, Paul went to Thessalonica, and taught there. He wrote the book of Thessalonians. All right. When he went there, he went to the church of Thessalonica. Basically, he went to the citizens of Thessalonica, and the ones that believe in Yahushua, he went and wrote letters to, and that letter was to that church, the gathering of those people in that place. Just like you have the church of, when you go into Revelation here about the church of Philadelphia, and the different churches. Those, if you read about it, Philadelphia is a place. All right. And you just keep going through all these are places. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are parabolic, some of them are literal. Just like Berea, the church of Berea, just different things like that. These places is either the books written by the name, places, or situations. All right. So that's why you got Corinth, Greece, Thessalonica. You know what I'm saying? These are places that Israelites, Negroes, Latino, Native Americans were gathered from being Gentiles, believing in Yahushua. Paul was writing these letters into them, and they were challenging certain situations, which caused Paul to prompt himself to address those issues. And it was all through the Spirit. So we can learn from it. You know what I'm saying? So that's church. There's no need for you to go into a building and expect the Lord to be there. The Lord said, when two or three are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. We call it camp. But in a technical form, our camp from the days that we have camp, that's church. All right? We have camp 4 times a week. So that's church. Okay? The Lord is in the midst of whatever we doing, because we gathered in the name. When we come in, we salute each other. That automatically solidifies that the name of the Lord, through the name of the Lord, He is present. So the Spirit moves. That's why it's important for brothers to let brotherhood continue, and to assemble yourselves. Says, forsake not the assembly. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is in the midst. The Lord is active. The moment that you feel that you can be by yourself and you're good, then that's the moment that you're more vulnerable to demons, man. Like Scripture said, a cord thrice strong is not thrice strong is hardly broken. So which that is another can of worms. But the point is that the gathering of Israel, and not only the gathering of Israelites, but the gathering of the believing Israelites in Yahweh Shai, that is the church. All right, not a building, because whatever we meet up, that building is considered a church. You know what I'm saying? Because the temple of the Most High dwelleth within us. All right, we are the temple. We are the church. All right, the Lord is dealing with us, not a building. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully, you know, it's really preaching. It's preaching to the choir, to brothers in the know, because we should know that already. But it's just edification with you know, just adding tools to your box as far as rebuking um, anybody who wants to speak up against it, and want to debate that you should go to church and you should join my church, or that's why I go to church. The Lord don't deal in temples made with hands. And the moment you believe that, then you're basically idol worshiping. Now, did the Lord enter any temples and read? Yes, he did, because that's where they were gathered. But the Lord said, do the work of the evangelist. You move around. You get off your feet. You hit the highways and byways and bid people bid the elect to the marriage. All right? So with that being said, I want to say, call hello, y'all, Bashim Yahshaya, Bashim Rakal Kadash, Barakathum, double answer apostle, elders, which are GMS, and blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and doing truth, sincerity. Shalom.